there's a better way to market on social media than whatever it is that you think you're doing right now. Obsessing over one video a week, one podcast a week, getting it perfect, editing out all the little yeahs, buts, stutters, all of that, it's costing you way too much time. And it might be a great result in the end, at least in its appearance, but is it getting significantly more downloads, views, or conversions than it would if you hadn't done any of that? Have you split test that? Have you tested it out? And what is it costing you to focus on that one piece of content? What else could you be doing with your time instead? If you count all the hours you're spending editing these videos and these podcasts, what if you took those hours instead to simply create more content? How much more could you create? You could go from having one video or podcast a week to releasing every single day. I used to do the same exact thing. I would try and edit all of my podcasts to be exactly 30 minutes long. I would chop out all those little things, all those little details, even just to get it under that 30-minute mark. I don't know why I thought it was so important. Turned out didn't even matter, and probably longer would have been better. Now, some of the best podcasts out there, the most popular ones at least, some of them are 1 hour long or 2 hours long, or they're releasing every single day. And if I had realized back then that more is more, I would have been in a completely different place today. But it's fine. We are where we are. Let's look at what you can do right now. So first thing I want you to do is stop editing your podcasts and your videos. Just cut the start, cut the end. That's it. Whatever happens, happens. No edits unless something goes terribly, terribly wrong. I also want you to think about how much more value can you squeeze out of one piece of content than what you're currently doing? What if every video automatically became a podcast? Whatever the video version is, the podcast version is identical. Same exact thing, same exact material. And then what about cutting up your videos and podcasts for other social media platforms? Your videos don't just have to be on YouTube. They can also be on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. You can cut all of those full-length episodes into clips. Yeah, you can keep posting the full versions on Facebook and IGTV if you want to. But if you actually look at the analytics, people drop off pretty quickly. They don't want to watch an hour-long podcast or an hour-long video on social. Not typically, at least. It's still good that you're doing it. Keep it up. But also think about, could you take that exact same piece of content and chop it into little clips? You can chop them under 1 minute for IG feed square videos. You can chop them under 220 for Twitter. You can get them under 10 minutes for LinkedIn. And so every clip that you create, just put them in different folders. And then you can automatically have them scheduled to go out on the appropriate platforms based on their length. But you've got to stop thinking that releasing just one full-length episode a week is going to be enough for the massive growth you're looking to achieve and that engagement you're looking to achieve. Your audience needs to be seeing you every single day, not just once a week. And what's more than that, not just once a day, but several times a day. Every single hour-long episode you're creating can become at least 20 to 30 shorter clips. Some of those clips will go on Instagram, some will go on Facebook, some will go on Twitter. And you know what? All of them can go on all of the platforms, assuming you keep your things under the time limits, of course. But there's a lot more value you can squeeze out of one piece of content than what you're currently doing. Yes, it may require hiring some VAs to help you out with this, but you can systematize that process to the point that you just create that one episode and the rest of it happens behind the scenes without your involvement once you have the systems in place. When I first started getting involved in making videos, I discovered pretty quickly that 1 hour long live stream Q&A could have endless returns for me on social media because I could keep reposting the same clips. The content was evergreen. I was involved in test prep at the time. And so These tests, these exams don't really change that much. So what's relevant 5 years ago is probably still relevant today. And people can still keep getting value out of it ongoing as long as the exam maintains that format. So I think about what can you be doing with this material to get even more out of it and expand your reach into other places. And you may not think that people on Instagram want to hear about your topic, but believe me, some of them do. They just want the right hashtags to help them discover it. And that engagement is going to help you out a lot. You just put a link in your bio to your lead magnet and keep posting, keep posting, keep posting. They may not go to your profile directly the first couple times they see it, but eventually they're going to get curious. And every now and then you can make an offer for whatever your premium offerings might be. If it's a course, if it's a book, if it's a membership, if it's a community, if it's coaching, whatever it is you want to be promoting, just put that link in your bio, talk about it in your videos, along with all the free evergreen stuff you're also talking about, and just keep recycling it, keep mixing it out there. And over time, as you create more videos, your library, your pool of clips that you're pulling from will grow to the point that you can keep increasing the frequency of your posting without reposting the same things quite as often. I also want you to think about what could you be doing with your videos to get written material as well. You can have them automatically transcribed and turned into articles, blog posts, ebooks, emails, infographics, quote images. The list goes on and on and on, but there's so much more value you could be getting out of one video than you think. I think video is the best possible starting point because it has maximal repurpose value after you leave the scene. So you create the video, it's possible to have other people help you with every other stage of the process, and you can just focus on creating the next video in line and the next video after that. You focus on just sitting down in front of the camera, in front of the mic, sharing your knowledge, and the rest of it can just happen. And obviously, if you don't have the team to support you right now, it may take some time to build it up. And then you'll have this decision. Do I involve myself in all of that editing and conversions to transcripts and such myself? My answer is generally no. Maybe you can do it just the first time to see what it's like and to help understand the process of what you want to create and what kinds of content are best suited for infographics versus articles versus emails versus clips, etc. But I want you to remove yourself from that process as quickly as possible and start looking for help, because your vision is so big that you cannot do it alone. Back when I first started making videos, I started editing them myself. And I did that for a few months. I was staying up till 1 a.m. every single night, getting the perfect clip, cutting out that little thing that I didn't like. And it was exhausting. And I realized that I couldn't create as much new material as I wanted to. I actually dreaded creating new material because of all the work I knew was following that one piece of content. So my best hire early in the process was a video editor where I could say to him, here are all the timestamps where I want you to cut the start and end of each clip. You go edit the videos. You go into Camtasia or whatever else and cut and render and all of that. Then just upload the video clips to me in Dropbox or something, and we're good. And that saved me so much time in work that I didn't need to be doing myself. The next step was, why am I the one going through the video recording to choose where the clips should be cut? Of course, I think I'm the best possible person to do that, but turns out I'm not. Other people can do a perfectly fine job as well, in some cases, even better than me. And what's most important is it removes me from the process. And maybe the clips won't always be exactly the way that I would have created them, but you know what? At least they've been done. And it's still me on camera going out into the world. Either way, the content is the same. Just the start and end points might be different. The titles might be different, but as long as it roughly communicates what is contained in the video, that's good enough. And I now have 10,000 video clips. 10,000 video clips, and that number is only growing. There's a huge batch waiting to be processed Once they are, we'll probably be at something like 12,000. I'm not sure. But the bottom line is that if I stuck with doing all of this myself, I wouldn't have as many, because anytime I spent editing the videos or choosing where they should be cut would be another hour, another minute that I wasn't creating new videos that could go into that process. So there's always going to be an opportunity cost for where you spend your time. And I recommend removing yourself from that process as much as possible. The next step is the transcriptions. You can use services like Otter to automatically transcribe all your videos. They even have an integration with Zoom. So every Zoom call automatically gets transcribed. You then have someone go in, they go through the transcript, they edit it into an article, or they edit it into a blog post or an email, and then they can go through and choose the quotes. Those quotes can go out as tweets. They can go out as quote images, that the kinds that you typically see on Instagram. You can use sites like Canva to help create those. But again, you're not the one doing this. You can do the first couple just to show someone else the kind of result you want. But after that, at least, get out of the way. Let them do what they're going to do. Let them do a bunch, and you can just pull out the ones you don't like. If you see it going out publicly, or you see it in a big folder and you're like, you know what, these 10%, I didn't like these. Don't make ones like these in the future. These other ones, I love them. Keep making more like that. And the pool of what you keep posting will grow. But I want you to stop doing all of this yourself. It's just taking way too long. And if you want to release every single day or multiple times a day, it's going to involve you getting out of the way.